Okay, fine. Let's learn some mishna berurah. How to choose an etrog. Okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Do you have an etrog yet?
No.
No.
לא קניתי.
לא קנית אתרוג? טוב.
עוד לא.
Okay. So, what are we looking when we're looking for an etrog? So, first thing is that we want that it will be an etrog, right? It can't be a lemon, right? It can't be something else. Etrog have to be an etrog. So, you know that there's a whole thing. Every etrog that you'll buy, so it will say בחזקת בלתי מורכב, right? What does it mean בחזקת בלתי מורכב? So it says that, you know what is מורכב? I don't know how you say it in English, but if you take a tree of lemons and you cut the branch of one, you cut one of the branches and you put on the tree, you put on the tree of the etrog, you put the branch on the lemon tree, you put a branch of etrog tree, so that it will grow etrogim, but that etrogim will be pasul. This is called etrog murkav. Yeah. It's like the way that they mix species of different trees. Yeah. So something like that is pasul. Can't use that. Okay.
Hybrid.
Hybrid. Okay. Shalom aleichem. So that etrog will be pasul. Okay. So now when you buy an etrog, they tell you בחזקת בלתי מורכב. They cannot promise you that it's לא מורכב. They say בחזקת בלתי מורכב. It's like it doesn't have the status of מורכב. It's not for sure מורכב. We hold that it's not מורכב. We hold that it's not מורכב. Okay? So there is, for example, Etrog Chazon Ish. What is Etrog Chazon Ish? The Chazon Ish, he used a certain etrog, and when he finished after Sukkot, he finished, so he gave it to one of his students, and he told him, take this etrog, take the seeds, make trees with it, and you will have parnasa. And this student. If you want to come over, that will hear you, so it will be better.
Would use. And he went
Okay, I heard the story.
That's
Anyhow,
the Etrog that he said had a Masorah in Eretz Yisrael for, and he gave it to what's his name?
so the point is that there is like the etrogim of the Chazon Ish, that is the etrog the Chazon Ish used. So so he have a certain Masorah. Okay, I don't want to go into the details of how strong is the Masorah.
In the hills of Morocco, they weren't touched. The Yinevah is the one.
Okay, that's going back with the story, but then you have to go to like see how liable is the story. But practically what we know, what we know is that this etrogim is what came out of the etrogim that Chazon Ish used. So whoever holds from the Chazon Ish, which is majority of Am Yisrael, I believe. So they say, like, Kadosh Baruch Hu is לא נותן מכשול ביד צדיקים. He's not putting a stumbling block in front of the tzadikim. So if the Chazon Ish used that, so probably it's not murkav. It's בחזקת בלתי מורכב, whatever came from that. And the same thing, all the etrogim that comes from Kfar Chabad, the same story, but with the Lubavitcher Rebbe. The same story with the Lubavitcher Rebbe. They took the etrog of the Lubavitcher Rebbe was using. Whatever it is, whatever it's called. Okay, but the point is that it's what was before that, before the Chazon Ish, before the Lubavitcher Rebbe, before that, we don't know. That's stories. What we know that the Chazon Ish used it, or what we know that the Lubavitcher Rebbe used it. So then we say, because they used it, because those tzaddikim used it, so we have the chazaka that it's built in murkav.
No, they have the Masorah. They got
It's
it
not.
from
It's
the
not.
other Yidden in Eretz Yisrael.
It's okay.
They took the Masorah from other Yidden.
It's not, as far as I understand, it's not a real Masorah about the whole. Okay.
All the Masorah.
Okay. So you see that there is many opinions about it. There is all kind of arguments about it. what I'm saying is what I understand. Okay, I'm not going into arguments.
Says if it looks like an S or
Okay, fine. Said
What does this
so,
cheskat mean?
Chezkat is like a status. Yeah. For example, I believe that you ate breakfast today. I have a chazaka. Yesterday was a fast day, so then I cannot say that there's a chazaka that you ate breakfast because it's a fast day. But today there's a chazaka that you probably ate fast. You probably ate breakfast. Chazaka. It's not normal. Yeah, that would be if it happens to be different. So I will say, okay, fine, it's different. It's not. It's like it's. It doesn't mean that I lied. If I have that, you have chazaka that you ate breakfast. You have chazaka. Okay. The chazaka is a very big thing in the halacha. You see that there's a mishna that says that orgim that they kill for according to chazaka. If somebody have a chazaka that he did the sin that is deserved death in the time that the bedin is giving death penalty, so they could have killed according to chazaka. Yeah, it's not like today the court like that you're supposed to prove it, whatever. That's I don't want to go into that. But chazaka is like a status that's like a high probability. It's more than high probability. It's like something that you can rely on. That it's like it's true enough to rely on. It's not 100%. It's not solid truth, but it's strong enough that you can rely on that. Yeah. You can put your money on that. It's a good bet. We don't bet, but I'm saying like theoretically, if we would have. So anyhow, okay. So now, so the etrog have to be an etrog. Okay. So one way is that you buy in a place that you rely on, and they tell you it's etrog, it's bilti murkav, and you can rely on that, and that's it, and you buy that. Okay. Now another way, like Reb Menashe said, that you follow the simanim. If it looks like an etrog, and it smells like an etrog, and it has all the signs that it's an etrog, so then you can rely on that, and you say, okay, so it's an etrog. Okay, fine, yeah. So let's.
Two species that bred together, we call it like a hybrid, or it's somehow compromised.
So let's go over the simanim of what is etrog. Okay. What is the simanim? What is the simanim etrog? So first of all, it should not be the same color, the yellow color of a lemon. Okay? It's similar, but it's not. It should be more. It's like it's the deep color. It's more color of it. It's still to the direction of wax, like beeswax kind of color. That is like, yeah. It's kind of dark yellow, not the bright yellow of a lemon. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is that the seeds, that will be a very, very important point. The seeds of the etrog, they're not sitting in juice. Yeah, you cannot take an etrog and juice it, like squeeze it for a salad. Doesn't work. Etrog is dry inside. It had you don't want to cut open the etrog that you're getting. Yeah, but some people after Sukkot, so they will cut it to see what's inside. But Lemaise, if you have, like, for example, like a tree, and you take one that you know that is pasul, and you cut it, and you see that it has the signs inside of etrog, so all the others will be the same kind, right? When you're going to the shop, you don't know like which trees they picked it from, so you can't have like two fruits from that you know that they came from the same tree, so it won't help you so much. But also there, it could be that like all the etrogim of the same shop, they're coming from the same tree of etrogim, and then you can rely on that. Anyhow, when you cut open an etrog, it shouldn't look like a lemon. It should the white. You have the outside shell, and then you have a thick layer of the white. I don't know how you call it. Like the shell of the etrog is like thick. Yeah, the skin is thick skin, and even inside there's no juice. Yeah, there's no juice. I'm not saying that if you found juice in your etrog, it means that it's lemon and it's pasul. I'm not saying that. Yeah, but the right etrog that you want lechatchila is that it doesn't have any juice. Yeah. Now the seeds, it's hard to describe, but okay, let's say that here I cut the etrog, right? Yeah, this is like that. That will be the etrog. I cut it open. So in a lemon, the seeds go this way, yeah, to the center, like they are lying, like horizontal. In the etrog, they're standing, yeah, vertical. The seeds inside, they're standing vertical. Okay, that's a very important sign. That's one of the important signs of the etrog.
It's sort of unique in terms of the lemons or the
yeah,
the seed bases.
Right. So that will be an important sign. What else can we say about the signs of etrogim? So there is the subject matter of the Pittom that we spoke about last time. Yeah, the Pittom is like a little rose in the end of the etrog. It's really the flower. You know, every fruit, it has a flower, and then when the fruit develops, so the flower falls down. The Pittom of the etrog is the flower that didn't fall down, stays by the etrog. Okay. Now you have to know that there is a etrogim without Pittom, that the Pittom falls down. For example, the Yamanite etrogim. Yeah, the Yamanite etrogim, we have a chazaka on them that it is kosher etrog, but it doesn't have Pittom. Okay. So there is many people that they're using the Yamanite etrogim, like I said last time, even though it doesn't have Pittom, because it has a certain tradition. And there is people that they like the Moroccan etrogim, that it has a good chazaka also. There was big rabbis that used it. And in Eretz Israel, as far as I know, the majority of the etrogim is or the Yamanite etrogim, or the Chazon Ish, or the Chabad etrogim. I think it's called Calambria, I think it's called the Chabad etrogim. Anyhow, this is the famous kinds of etrogim that you find in Eretz Israel. And as far as I understand, also outside of Eretz Israel, that will be what is found, because most of the etrogim outside of Eretz Israel today is etrogim that they grow in Eretz Israel and then they export them outside of Eretz Israel.
Just say something that hasn't been inbred like that. Usually we call it purebred, or like, cause say if you have a dog that mates with a different, like they call those mutts. They have two different types of dogs.
Yeah.
So that one that's only been together with the same species, it's called like a purebred. So, but a chazaka kind of means.
So it's supposed to be purebred etrogs. That's what we want. Yeah. We want purebred etrog, and it is what we have is what we have, right? You can't. Somebody can come up with some kind of I went to Morocco and I found a real etrogim, and now I'm selling the real etrogim. Okay, there is all kinds of people that they will say different things like that. I'm not saying it's not true, but it's worth whatever it's worth. You have to, if you believe them, you believe them. You don't believe them, you don't believe them. I might say the majority of the etrog market is basically on faith. Yeah, you found someone that you believe that he tells you that he's buying that from someone that grows etrogim that he relies on. So here you rely on him, he relies on him, and hopefully everybody are truthful and everything is good. Okay? Can you say that something is for sure? No, it's only a status, it's only a chazaka. That's what I said in the beginning. So for this reason, I know some rabbis that they have few etrogim, and they use one etrog for the bracha, and then they take another etrog for the shaking of the lulav of the halal, and then after that they take another lulav, another etrog just for sure, to make sure, so they will have another, and each one of the etrogim will have a different brand, a different story, where it's coming from. So they have like, okay, I did whatever I can, that's it. I can't do more than that. Okay, is it necessary to do so? I don't say it's necessary to do so. You can do it. If somebody wants to buy few kinds of etrogim and to shake like the lulav with each one of them, I'm saying it's possible to do that, but it's not necessary. You know,
people do it to be sure, saying in case. There
is something that is called like nerves, like nervim for mitzvahs. That people they are worried, like maybe I didn't do it right, so I have to do it again, and Some people
OCD,
they,
neurotic, or OCD.
no, I'm not saying it can come from a negative source like you say, and it can come from a good pure source of Yirat Shamayim that they want to make sure that they're doing their obligation. Yeah, I know one rabbi that used to say Kriyat Shema 8 times because like with different way how to like say over the Shema, you know, different taich. Anyhow. That's all of that is one thing. All of that is one thing. So that will be the first priority, the first thing, to buy a network that is really a network. Now after that, so we want the etrog to be beautiful, right? Why? Like I said last time, the etrog symbolizes the heart, right? So like you don't want your heart to have any blemish, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You want everything to be pure, neat, and clean, right? So the same thing we want with the etrog, that it will be clean, neat, no issues, right? So you want to buy a clean etrog. Now, as much as it is more clean and more beautiful, so also the price goes up, yeah? So depends how much can you afford yourself to spend on an etrog, yeah? So I'll tell you a little story. There was one person that he was a Talmid Chacham, and he was very poor. And all the time his wife was complaining to him, why you not going to do some work, to bring some money to the house? We are so poor, this, that. One day they offered him a job to be a rabbi of the community. So his wife got all excited, you know, they will get some money, they won't be so poor, let's do it. So he told his wife, listen, you know, the rabbi of the community needs to have a beautiful etrog. So Sukkot is coming. So let's take all the money that we have, spend it on a nice etrog, and then it will give me the status of being like a rabbi in the community. So she agreed. So they bought the etrog, not all the money, but a lot of money. And she agreed, and they bought a beautiful etrog. It was the most beautiful etrog in the whole Bet Knesset, in the whole shul. So sure enough, all the people wanted to use his etrog to shake the lulav as well. So he shaked his lulav in the Hallel, and then afterwards there was a line of people, all the people of the shul, that one after one they took the etrog and shake it all around. Yeah, and you can imagine yourself in the end of Sukkot how this etrog was looking like. Everybody was like, you know, holding it and so on. So it was all like squishy, right? So then he came to his wife and he showed her the etrog, and he told her, look what happened to the etrog after everybody touched it. You want your husband to look like that? all squishy. So that was his way to get out of the hook of he didn't want to take the responsibility. He wanted to stay to learn by himself. Okay, there is different people with different approaches of what is the right thing to do, of how to take the responsibility for other people. Anyhow.
But the question there, I would say, is like your wife. You have to go work if she. I'm not going into speaking about like how to work and how much to work, and Bezrat Hashem, when you'll get married, then when you'll have the issue with your wife, Bezrat Hashem, you won't have any issue, but if Chas v'Shalom you'll have an issue, then we can go over that and discuss that, Bezrat Hashem. Anyhow, so the Shulchan Aruch says in Siman Tafreish Nun Vav, it says צריך לחזור אחר הידור מצווה בקניית האתרוג. Okay? Like I said last time, because on the etrog it says pre it's hadar. What is hadar? Beauty. So you have to look for an etrog that is looking beautiful for you. Yeah? There is many people that they looking on an etrog, they say, it's a beautiful etrog, but it's on my etrog. Yeah? You have to feel that this is your etrog. Except of all of the halachic requirements. It's a certain feeling that, okay, I found my etrog. This is my etrog. If you say to a woman, you look yafa, you use hadar, or you say atnira.
Nehederet.
Nehederet. Oh, I got it. Okay.
Okay. We have to make maybe a class about how to act in shidduchim, but that will be a different class. So the Shulchan Aruch says, אם קנה אתרוג שראוי לצאת בו בצמצום כגון שהוא כביצה מצומצמת ואחר כך מצא גדול ממנו, מצווה להוסיף עוד שליש מלגו מדמי הראשון כדי להחליפו ביותר נאה. Okay? So the Shulchan Aruch is starting with a problem like this. Let's say that you bought an etrog, and it's just the minimum size. The minimum size of the etrog. So you can be Yotze Yedei Chova. Okay? What is the minimum size of the etrog? Is like an egg. Yeah? Beitza. A beitza. You have the size of an egg. That's the minimum size of the etrog. So let's say that you bought an etrog that is like that, and then you go in the market and you see another etrog. Shalom Aleichem. You find another etrog that is very beautiful. So you already bought an etrog. How much money can you spend on an etrog, right? So the Shulchan Aruch says that the mitzvah is you can add another third of the value of the first etrog to buy the second etrog. Okay? To switch it. So you don't have to have two etrogim. Yeah? If you cannot like switch between the first, to give back the first etrog and to take another etrog that is more beautiful and to add another third of the value, so that makes sense. That's something that you can do. But to double the investment that you did in etrog, that's too much. You don't have that obligation.
You're saying if you buy one and then you decide it's not beautiful, enough.
Yeah, you want something that is more, a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer. You want to add a little bit more. So how much can you add? Okay, maybe I should start really generally without like before etrog, just generally. How much a person should spend on a mitzvah? Yeah. Let's say someone that you have $1,000 and he doesn't have tefillin. He wants to buy tefillin. So the good tefillin will cost $1,000. So now should he spend all his money on the tefillin and leave himself without any money? The answer is no. The mitzvah is chomesh, 20% of your money. That's how much you spend on a mitzvah. Okay, there is exceptions. If there is like a chas v'shalom captive that you have to redeem, yeah, that is a life threat. That's something else. But generally, like for the arbat minim, or for like every mitzvah that you have in front of you, there is people that they want to put all their money on whatever they have in front of them. But the sages are telling us no, you have to spend maximum 20% on the mitzvah that you have in front of you. Okay?
Meaning like a fifth?
A fifth, yeah.
So many, like chumash, so many permutations of chumash, but
okay. So that's generally. So if somebody has like limited amount of money that he cannot afford himself more than that, so he cannot. That's not talking about this case. This case is talking about when within the 20% that you have to spend on the mitzvah of the arbat minim, he can afford himself a nicer etrog, a little bit more than what he have. Yeah.
It should be of his monthly income, 20%, or
it's not about his monthly income. Whatever you have. If you have a monthly income, so it will be his monthly income. But if he got inheritance of $5 million, so he can spend $1 million. I'm not saying he should, but he can. You have the permission. You have the permission from the sages. Yeah, somebody that he doesn't have $1 million and is borrowing money to buy himself like some kind of a mitzvah in $1 million. So then he doesn't have any promise from the sages that the money will come back or something like that. He's doing something that is not according to the sages. It's not according to the Torah. Yeah, there's another religion that they say you have to give all your money to the mitzvah, to to poor people, whatever it is. You have to give all of your money. And this is one of the signs that this is not Torah. This is not according to the Torah. According to the Torah, you have to give maximum 20%. Again, there is exceptions. Yeah, if there is something that is very, very needed, something that is a life threat, something that is, to help to save someone's, I don't know. Let's say, for example, you have a friend that you have a problem in the house, that his marriage will break if he will not have a certain amount of money right now, because you want to help your friend to save his marriage, so you want to take all your money to give it to him. Okay, so maybe it's possible because it's exception. It's not something that is it's something that is normal, that is coming every time. Again, you have to make sure that you have what to sustain yourself. Generally, the state of mind of Chazal is that someone that he have money and he's giving all his money, and then he's putting himself on his yoke on the public, that the public will give him now, support him, because he doesn't have, because he gave all what he has. So that's not right. It's not right to give all what you have and then that you have to collect charity to sustain yourself. It's not right according to Chazal. Anyhow, let's go back to the Etrog. So there is the mitzvah and there is hidur mitzvah. What is the difference between the mitzvah and the hidur mitzvah? Mitzvah is the minimum requirement. Yeah? Hidur mitzvah is to do something that is extra, that is to make it that it will be more beautiful, right? So for example, we're speaking about an etrog. So you have the etrog, that is the minimum, let's say, the size of an egg, that will be the minimum, okay? Now, you have next to it, you have a very beautiful etrog next to it. So what do you choose? You want the etrog that is the minimum, that is just the size of an egg, that will cost, let's say, 50 shekels, 100 shekels, yeah? Something like that. And you have next to that a very beautiful etrog, big, nice, with all the signs of the etrog, with the nice color, deep yellow, whatever, like we spoke, yeah? So, and that etrog will cost, let's say, $1,000. So, if you want to express your love to Hashem, Hashem is so good to me. He gave me so much goodness. I want to express my love to Hashem. So how do I do that? I want to take the mitzvah and to make it to do extra, not to do just the bare minimum. I want to do more than the bare minimum. I want to do the mitzvah that will be nicer. Yeah. So I want to get the best etrog. So that best etrog is $1,000. Do you have the permission to spend all your money on the etrog? The answer is no. You can add extra 20%. Yeah. So if you have, let's say $1,000, so you can spend maximum like $200 on the etrog. More than that, you not have the permission to use. Okay. Okay. Now, like we're getting into like, I don't want to get into that, but I'm saying like to make that conversation that it will be complete, so we have to touch the subject of like credit and this, that, all kinds of like, you know, if somebody, he doesn't have right now the money, but he knows that he's going to get the money. Yeah? He knows his parents, his children, whoever, he told him that we're going to send you money now. So is it count as if he have it or he doesn't have it, or he can take credit and he have like income that is coming like monthly income, so he can base himself, so he can spread the payments. So there's many questions about those subject matters of payments and buying in credit and this and that. It's not recommended, okay? If somebody can avoid it, it's better, because it brings you into all kinds of problems, halachic problems of interest and this and that. There's many nuances with it, so I don't want to go into that, but I'm just saying, if somebody can avoid it, it's better. But the mindset, because today the whole world is acting according to that, it's very hard, you know, like when you want to buy something, so the most convenient way to buy it today is with credit card online. Yeah. So if somebody doesn't want to do that, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it makes life harder. So if somebody is able to, it's better not to rely on those things. Anyhow, the Mishnah Berurah is explaining that concept that I spoke about, hidur mitzvah. What is the hidur mitzvah? So the Gemara says that hidur mitzvah ad shlish b'mitzvah, a third of the mitzvah. So what does it mean that the hidur mitzvah is a third from the mitzvah? So the Mishnah Berurah says, אינו רוצה לומר שיש לפניו שני אתורגים או שני ספרי תורה ואחד הדר יותר מחברו שיצטרך מחמת מצוות ההידור להוסיף עד שליש במקח. אם כן, הרי לעולם ימצא נאה ונאה עד אין סוף לדבר. So you could have said that the mitzvah of hidur is that I have the etrog of 100 shekels, and now I have the obligation, not permission, obligation of adding a third that it will be hidur. So now, instead of 100 shekels, I have to spend 130 shekels on the yeah, on a nicer etrog, right? But the Mishnah Berurah says no, you cannot say that, because then from the 130, so you add another third, yeah. So instead of 130, so now you'll jump to 170, something like that. Yeah, I'm making it round, and so on and so forth. So you, like, every time you can find something nicer, and it becomes to be more expensive. So that's not the idea, right? So what is it then? כן, הרי לעולם ימצא נאה ונאה ואין סוף לדבר. אלא מאיר שאתרוג אחד היה בו רק כשיעור מצומצם, שהוא כביצה, ואחר גדול ממנו, אז אמרו דמצווה להדר ולהוסיף עד שליש. דרשין שמא יתמעט את השיעור. באופן זה אפילו כבר קנה אתרוג קטן, מצווה להחליפו באחר עד שליש דמיו. So that's what we said in the beginning according to the Shulchan Aruch. You found an etrog that is 100 shekels, that is the bare minimum, that is the size of an egg. And now you have something that is nicer. So how much should you add? Not a permission, an obligation that it will be nicer. At least the measurement, not at least, the measurement is a third. Okay? So it's two different points. Okay? One point that I said is that you can use a fifth of your money to spend on a mitzvah. That's one concept. Okay? Another concept that after you have a certain mitzvah, and you have the possibility to make the mitzvah nicer, so you can take a third of the value of the first mitzvah, and to add to that to have something that it will be nicer. Okay? This is the concept of switching afterwards. That's what.
Is it lehader?
Hidur. Lehader. Yeah. Okay.
In hey, hidur.
Yeah. לגמרא מאיר באתרוג כל המצוות שמזדמן לפניו אחד הדר מחברו, צפה להדר אחד הדר ולהוסיף שליש בדמיו, זו הדעה שמוזכרת פה. Okay, so that's basically what we have, the concept of hidur mitzvah, that there is an obligation to the third. Okay, if you want to add more, how much can it be the maximum? That's what I said in the beginning, up to fifth, up to 20% of your total money that you have. Okay, that's if you want, but you don't have the obligation. You don't have to spend. If you have $5 million, you don't have an obligation to spend $1 million of every mitzvah that you have in front of you. Obviously, right? It's a permission. Okay.
It's trying to give you a framework of like sanity in terms of.
Exactly. That will be the right sanity, the right way, balanced way, Torah way. How to manage your resources for, yeah. I know a few people that I spoke with them about something like spending money on a mitzvah, and somebody told me, look, Rabbi, I don't know. It used to be that I had money and I spent all my money on certain mitzvot. I gave all my money to poor people, and now I don't have money, so you can't ask me for anything. I don't want to spend any more money on any mitzvah. Okay, so that shows you like the way of the sages, because the sages, they knew that something like that might happen, so they told you from the beginning you shouldn't give all your money for a mitzvah and leave yourself without anything. You have to be balanced. If you balance, so you're spending whatever you need in the time that you need it, and then you have enough to continue to roll down the road, right? Otherwise you burn out.
I need the favor of the vegetables.
A favor with the vegetables. Okay, so we'll hold it here. It's urgent. We need to fix it now. Okay, so we'll hold it here, and Bezrat Hashem, we will continue with it. If not today, tomorrow. Sorry, just came, but Baruch Hashem.
Thank you.
Bezrat Hashem, Baruch Adonai L'olam Amen V'Amen. And B'atzlacha for everybody to choose nice etrogim.